Hello and welcome to another game of StarLadder Season 6, day number 16. We have got ourselves the last game of today. It is Na'Vi taking on zRage. We will see which of these two teams will be taking home 3 points to their name. We're going to be here with 3 people to entertain you. We've got stats delivered by K-poptosis. We've got my co-caster Vykromond, and we've got me. And Vykromond, welcome to the broadcast once again.
It's good to be back, Sheever. We just saw Na'Vi just destroy Alliance in a matchup that I don't think anybody expected to be as well-set. But that's the thing with best of ones. You can just make one mistake or make one strategic error and it all collapses around you. And so the last undefeated team in StarLadder Season 6 actually went down just now. And now we'll have to see if Na'Vi are going to continue just being totally dominant against zRage, or if they'll let their guard down after such a big win and actually let zRage sneak a win in here.
Yeah, you just pointed out also the one thing that is, well, can win zRage this game. I mean, best of the ones, anything can happen. zRage, a team that can play very aggressive, and we're gonna see if they can throw Na'Vi off their guard. We've got a Wisp and a Visage getting banned out here, so a bit of targeted bans here up against zRage. We've got the Lifestealer and the Bedrider picked up, or banned out rather, by zRage, leaving the Nyx Assassin in the pool, and Na'Vi actually favoring that as their first pickup, which is surprising, because we don't normally see Nyx Assassin that often anymore, and we still have a Lone Druid in the pool, for example, but Na'Vi not wanting to go for that one yet. They have their own plan and might be having a very targeted strategy in mind because, I mean, best of the ones, it is the time to test out things and to try new stuff and to try and take games by surprise with the Gyrocopter and a Shadow Demon picked up by zRage.
So Shadow Demon, Gyrocopter, both very strong heroes, both well worth drafting early. We're not going to stop seeing Shadow Demon either. He's going to just keep being a presence for a very long time. Gyrocopter, of course, did get a pretty significant nerf. I think we'll still see him, but he might not be this extremely first-pick priority hero. Just keeping everybody's eyes on the ball, and the fact that in about a week, or actually in about 4 days, this metagame is going to completely change. But Na'Vi with the first-pick Nyx, and Alliance actually second-round Bandit last game, and some people in our chat were sort of criticizing them, saying that Na'Vi wouldn't rate it that highly, but here you can see they actually rate it quite highly. And Nyx Assassin does give you the opportunity, even from a support slot, of just taking over games.
Yeah, and they took a very long time just to pick up a Keeper of the Light, and please, oh, thank you. I was kind of worried there, because I thought maybe they would go for the PL combination. Yeah.
Oh, well, that'd be fine. You don't like PL, Sheever? You're one of those?
Well, I like PL. I will never call him the other name because I think that is disrespectful to the game and to people that actually have issues with that disease. And, you know, I just think that he is not really the type of hero that is creating the game style that I like to watch. There we go.
Fair enough, but zRage do have the beginnings of a line. The thing is, picking PL into Gyrocopter Shadow Demon is pretty confident. These are the #1 carry at responding to Phantom Lancer without taking sort of a dual core approach, and the #1 support at responding to Phantom Lancer. Yeah, and the Kunkka, again, Sharfik was very good on Kunkka the other day, so...
Yeah, and we saw Na'Vi banning out the Kunkka in the previous game up against Alliance, so maybe a hero that I'm not yet quite comfortable in facing. Hopefully for zRage that is indeed the case, because they don't have their 2 cores ready. Now we know zRage, they are quite a greedy team, as we saw previous game. They have had 3 cores in the previous game, and we're going to see if they want to take 3 again. We could of course see Kunkka and Shadow Demon in the mid lane, Gyrocopter and someone else in the bottom lane, and then still an offlaner there. And for that offlaner, I mean Lone Druid, for example, still in the pool if they want to take that down, as we have the Phantom Lancer still getting banned out, with the Chen getting banned out on the side of Na'Vi.
Yeah, so they do ban the PL. They still don't, even if you have a lineup that can deal with Phantom Lancer, you still don't necessarily want to face it, just because if you don't like, I mean, yeah, if you have the same attitude, if we don't really like that playstyle, we don't like to have to fight up against that. So the mid matchup already fairly set, since we are most likely going to see that Kunkka mid, possibly with the addition of the Shadow Demon. And actually, this could be trouble for Dendy's Magnus, frankly. It could be a lot of pressure, especially if they wait for the disruption and use it in response to a skewer if he's already taking a lot of pressure, and then Torrent on top of that. It honestly could be... Na'Vi may have to delegate quite a bit of Kuroki and Puppy's time to actually protecting this Magnus.
Yeah, I think so too. The ganking potential really there. As we see the Darkseer, more offlaners getting banned out. Surprisingly, Lone Druid still in the pool. Maybe Na'Vi is accepting the fact that they might take up Lone Druid and therefore would be having or would kind of cripple themselves actually in terms of needing a lot of farm on 3 of the heroes, and Na'Vi of course looking to shut down as much farm as possible, as we saw them do against Alliance in the end as well. And as we saw Alliance doing up against zRage as well, of course, in the game before that one. zRage, one more ban to go. They ban out the Clockwork, and a last ban could be a carry, could be something else. It's gonna be a Nature's Prophet, it's gonna be another off lane. So they're expecting indeed Dandy in that mid lane, and then still an off lane and a carry needed for Na'Vi.
Yeah. If Na'Vi wanted to switch things up, they actually, because it's most likely to have a Kunkka, right now it looks more like a Kunkka SD dual mid than anything, they could switch the Magnus onto Funnick and just be like, surprise, we're actually running with Queen of Pain or something. So, we'll see if they actually decide to do that, or if they just decide to go with the Dendi Magnus in a fairly standard lineup. Of course, still a variety of heroes available for Hvost in this game as well. I don't know if we're going to see something like... they haven't resurrected the Hvost anti-mage in a while, but it could happen. Lone Druid also still in the pool miraculously, and that could be a good #1 option for them as well, or even a Funnick hero.
Very true. I'm slightly distracted, but I will be back here. So, yeah, they're taking their time. This is just 9 seconds left into their bonus time. That's it. And
yep, they've actually run out of reserve time.
Yeah, and they do exactly what you said they would. Yep. Pick up the Storm, so Magnus probably going the way of Funnick. They could actually go for an aggressive tri lane still with these 2 heroes. They'll have Magnus on the safe lane, or Storm on the safe lane, which they have done plenty of times before as well. And then pick up an aggressive tri lane hero. Yeah,
Na'Vi really likes Storm. They're one of the teams that picks Storm the most often out of the scene, and actually they're one of the few that picks him often and has a great win rate with him, because I know Team Liquid also plays quite a bit of Storm Spirit, and Fnatic likes Storm Spirit, but neither of them actually have that great win rate compared to what Na'Vi can actually do with Dendi Storm. So this is really developing. There's a big cat and mouse laning game now. Now zRage takes the puck, who's actually quite strong against Storm Spirit, so the question will be, both teams have to guess where the other team goes. So where is the Magnus going to be? Where is the Storm Spirit going to be? Because we want Puck against Storm and Kunkka SD against Magnus, possibly. Although, no, actually, the other way around, sorry. And for Na'Vi, it's where is the Shadow Demon Kunkka and where is the Puck?
Yeah, and they pick up the Weaver as the last one. I'm not really a fan of that, but we know that Na'Vi is, and I love the Beastmaster pickup here, giving so much more oomph to the lineup of zRage and giving them a lot of mid-game fighting potential. It is all to see who is going where, though, as we see a Vost actually picking up the Storm. Now, we know that teams often pick up heroes and then swap it around afterwards, so we can't really say anything about that just yet. But yeah, I think I like the pickups of zRage. I actually like it a bit more than the Weaver. I think Weaver is a nice hero to have. Needs a lot of farm to really be able to make something big happen mid-game, though, or needs a very strong early game if the supports can give him that, if that is going to be an aggressive tri lane.
Okay. So, I guess I have a question for you then, Sheever. You say that you like the Beastmaster pick.
Yes.
How do you see it being used as far as laning goes?
I think it's going to be a solo suicide lane, but might be a support
Radiant
Beastmaster.
solo suicide Beastmaster.
Yeah, Radiant solo suicide Beastmaster, or at least solo, as we see actually Hakon picking that up, and he was the offlaner in the previous game as well. And I think we're gonna see
support Gyro then, I guess.
Looks like support Gyro, yes.
Okay. I don't know that this is such a great game for support Gyrocopter. Well, actually, no, I guess it could work. So you put down the... What you can do is use the homing missile, then use the disruption to waste a bunch of time while the homing missile gets there, and then homing missile and torrent on top of that with the rocket barrage to follow. With So yeah, it could work actually. And the only thing is, Radiant side solo suicide Beastmaster is so much less fun than Dire side solo suicide Beastmaster, because the access to the Ancients is much more difficult. But still, it's still doable. You can still stack the Ancients to some extent, so you know they can make it work.
Yep, and for zRage on the Radiant side, Sharfik will play one of his signature heroes. It is the Puck for him. For Inquisitor, it is the Kunkka. Gonna be playing that on the safe lane by the looks of it, with the stand-in, Jotum or Medved, playing the Shadow Demon, as you can now vote in the chat, !vote in the team of your choice who will win this match. Android will be playing a support Gyrocopter for this game, which I don't think we've seen him play before. And the Beastmaster will already be going to check out those Ancients, which he now realizes wasn't really the best place to go because Na'Vi was around there. It is Hakon playing the Beastmaster for this game.
And looking up towards Na'Vi, having taken that win over Alliance, now seek to just extend it against zRage. Funnick piloting the Weaver. Dendy on the Magnus, right now looking like mid-Magnus, solo suicide. Weaver pooled quite a bit of gold as well. Just one set. And then Hvost on the Storm Spirit, actually, being supported by Kuroki on the Nyx Assassin and Puppy on the Keeper of the Light.
Yes, we see Funnick getting chased down a bit, but he's just fine. He has got the Shikushi. One thing to point out is that, of course, the combination of the Keeper of the Light and the Storm is pretty potent. I mean, you have got a Storm Spirit, very mana intensive, but you also have a Keeper of Light that you just can replenish the mana, as we have got a disconnect from Medved, so yeah, there's a pause coming out. Poppy with an Invis Rune sitting in the mid lane might be trying to make something happen, but it's very tough to gank up on a puck, especially if there is a Shadow Demon this close by. Shadow Demon probably rotating bottom fairly soon. Inquisitor and Android, the only two so far there, and to be fair, they can take on Funnick with them, two of them, just fairly easily. As we do have the Torrent skilled out first by Inquisitor, I would kind of like to see the Tidebringer there first, just to make sure that he can harass Funnick a bit more.
Well, if they want to go for First Blood, the Torrent is probably a little better. Do they actually have sentries? Yeah, they have sentries on the Gyrocopters, so once, if Medved decides to rotate and just disrupts the Weaver, they can probably kill it, honestly. And then that'll give them the levels to use the Tide.
Yeah, as this Kunkka, as K-poptosis just pointed out, it has had a soar in just popularity, with 64% win rate picked up, 62 times picked up, something like that, if I read that correctly. 62 times picked up in 1 month is quite a lot. Of course, we've seen it both in the Asian scene quite a lot, as well as in the Western scene, as it mostly the surge was, of course, for the LGD team, I believe, that we saw it often banned and picked. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how we are going to see Inquisitor using this and how they're going to get their farm, because they do need a bit of time. And one hero that, of course, is going to be a key factor for that for zRage is that Beastmaster. He needs that level 6 to help his team buy time for the Kunkka to get his farm up a bit more.
Definitely. When you select this Kunkka as your primary farmer, because Kunkka isn't, I mean, he's not sort of a traditional hard carry, he just relies on this burst so much, you really, really, really need to hit those burst breakpoints. You have to have the fast Shadow Blade, you have to have the fast Daedalus if that's what you want to follow up with, and they need to guarantee that by A, locking down Funnick, and B, creating space, as you said, with the Beastmaster. There's the sentry dropped, actually, so it'll just zone Funnick for now, and you do see that Medved is rotating over, so eventually I think they have a primo First Blood opportunity, but I'm still concerned about Hakan actually earning XP. I feel like Na'Vi can pretty effectively zone him.
Yeah, so far he's not been getting anything just yet. We have Puppy already harassing him a bit. Hakon really can't really... Now, he can't really go towards that quick wave. He has to wait patiently until the lane comes his way, and if it's up to Na'Vi, they won't let that happen. They've got Kuroki stacking already, and he will pull the next wave as well to deny that entire creep wave.
Yeah, and even if he goes to the backup plan of stacking Ancients, Na'Vi have actually planted this very clever sentry to block the Ancient spawn completely. This sentry is one of the hardest, this spot for dewarding, for rather blocking creep camps is one of the hardest. You actually need to cut a tango to actually find it, even if you have the ward in the right spot.
Yeah,
Ooh, Hakan.
that just chipped him a bit, indeed. Yeah. Poppy getting that Illuminate off. I mean, if Hakon's not careful, there's gonna be a First Blood of a solo Keeper of the Light versus a Beastmaster. That's not somewhere where you want to be. In the meantime, Dendy, by the way, he's not having an easy time up against Sharfik. He is 6-1 though. Sharfik sitting on 7-2. In theory, Sharfik should be able to at least come out ahead of this lane, though Dendy should not die. And wow, 89%. I have to say, salute you, 11%. I am with you, because I'm kind of, I mean, I like upsets, I can't deny that, and
yeah.
I like to see zRage do well here, because they are definitely an enjoyable team to watch. for
They
sure.
are an enjoyable team to watch. I don't think an upset is completely impossible. My current concern, and what really bothers me, is I just feel like if they don't find levels for Beastmaster, it's actually going to be a bigger problem than if Na'Vi don't immediately find levels for Weaver. Now, Weaver is the more item-dependent hero than Beastmaster is, but I just feel like as long as Hwost finds his level, as long as Dendi, they'll be able to generate so much pressure on zRage's lineup that it'll just create the space for Funnick to catch up. Whereas I don't know how zRage generates the space for Hakan to catch up.
No, I would really like to see zRage going for Genki here upon mid, because then he has been just allowed to just do whatever he wants. And you already pointed out the killing potential of these two heroes. And Android and Medved could really just disrupt that mid lane and pull it even more in favor of Sharvik right now. And they're not really trying to. They're just trying to get some experience and gold into the jungle and trying to stack as well. Of course, denying that experience to Funnick is pretty important. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still do think that that is a very smart thing to do as well. But it is so important also to make sure your mid lane has got that good time, especially since that Beastmaster is not getting all that he wants. And that means even more pressure will be up on Sharvik to carry this team to the mid game.
Yeah, and I don't think we've seen Inquisitor on Kunkka either, so we'll have to see if he's as effective in using it as we saw Sharvik be the other day. So I personally have not seen this guy play this particular hero, but we'll see if he Radiance rushes. No, so I'm just kidding. He's not going to Radiance Rush.
No.
I want to be completely clear about this, just for our viewers. I don't actually believe that that'll happen.
It was a troll. Please note. We'll have next implemented a kappa signal in the Dota 2 in-game client so that we can pop it whenever we want to.
So smart. One kind of interesting thing to look at for zRage here is we talk about Kunkka and how he has the opportunity. The problem is that he pushes the lane. So you can see that Inquisitor here, actually, he's not leveled stats. He just has 2 free skill slots because he doesn't want to push this lane. He wants to control the position of the lane completely. So he just has 2 Torrent, now with level 5.
Wait a second, here on the top lane, the invisibility room was there. He walks away from that sentry ward, though Haken should be fine. But nice sentry being placed by Na'Vi there. They've tried to push out this tier 1, by the way.
Yeah, and I don't think that Beastmaster can contest this push at all. I also don't know who can really rotate to stop the push. Maybe the Kunkka himself, but they have to be very confident that they'll get a kill to actually make that rotation.
Yeah. In the meantime, mid lane, Dendi had a bit of issue, but he was able to skewer away from the Dream Coil. Took a lot of damage though, but will have a full bottle at his disposal again. So Sharvik will have a tougher time taking him down. But Sharvik still 26-7, while we have Dendi sitting on 18-2, so Sharvik still ahead, as expected. But Dendi not really shut down either, as Haken makes it to level 2. Congrats.
I mean, as sarcastic as it is, I mean, Funnick is already level 3, he's going to hit level 4 no problem, and Haken, he's going to find a little bit of farm now just because the lane is so pushed up, but Na'Vi are comfortable with that because that gave them a full tower. And Hwost is farming quite well as well. 36 last hits, a little less than Inquisitor, but plenty since Storm it's not as critical for Storm to be as hyper carry.
And the question is, when is someone gonna rotate? Because we do have Dendi sitting on level 6. We still haven't had a rotation towards the mid lane. That has still been just, you know, that encounter of Sharvik versus Dendi has been going on. We still have Haken. He's the one that's had most troubles this entire game from any of the lanes. We have got Funnick doing okay. He's level 4 right now. He was able to take a couple of Ancients, but then the Ancient got warded, so he wasn't able to continue that one. But he is still higher level than the Beastmaster, who actually rotated into the jungle right now to get himself some extra levels and gold. But yeah, no rotation coming off to any of the lanes to try and take kills. And who do you think will make the first move in this?
My guess would be probably Na'Vi, but they're waiting for Hwost to feel very comfortable, so they're going to build up, it looks like probably going to build up the Orchid Malevolence. So once that's up, Na'Vi is absolutely going to go for the throat. We could see something attempted with Puck and Shadow Demon before that, though, I guess. So zRage if Sharvik feels comfortable, Na'Vi if Hwost feels comfortable. Those are the key heroes for that.
Well, let's see who feels comfortable first. I mean, we still, of course, have that RP up the sleeve of Dendi, but no mana to cast it. He did pick up Treads, by the way, rather than Mana Boot, so that's interesting to note. Going for a bit more Dendi-like build, who likes to build his Magnus as a bit of a semi-carry. And did he just... Ah, no, that was just a magic wand. I was gonna say, what did he just buy? Funnick in the meantime, finding the 2 supports in the jungle. He is still level 4, with the supports being level 5 and 4, by the way, on the side of zRage, while the supports of Na'Vi, level 3 for Puppey, and level 5 for Kuroki. So 1 level difference in between them. Slightly ahead for zRage in terms of that, and in terms of experience, we do see zRage, even with that very tough lane where the Beastmaster was in, still ahead. By very little, but every little bit helps here, of course.
Na'Vi, with these power treads, they do get a little bit of the double power treads, the treads on Hwost and the treads on Dendi. What this gives them is that people who can auto-attack to some extent in the absence of Funnick, because Funnick isn't going to hit the levels or the farm to really be an auto-attacking beast for a long time, which means, you know, somebody's got to deliver the damage. You can't just magic attack people to death for the whole game. And so in this case, Dendi and Hwost are going to be providing that a little bit. It'll be interesting if Dendi is taking this game, if he's actually going to go Battle Fury, which is what we used to see him go, but I doubt it.
Yeah, the gold per minute
Sharfik,
is pretty...
Sharfik.
No, RP gets used, Sharfik! He can't get out of this, and that's a first blood. Almost took Puppey with him though, 18 HP. Oh, the Shadow Poison comes in from the stand-in. At least able to get a return. Yeah. But
still, that was perfect RP timing from Dendi. The instant before Sharfik would have cleaned up. And meanwhile, Hwost, he's going in. He already gets Android.
Nice 2-man torrent though. Inquisitor, he did pick up 3 levels right now of that Tidebringer. Hwost dodges the boat. Inquisitor chasing him down. No, he has got a torrent, but Puppey coming in will make sure that Hwost has a bit of mana again so he can get out. And Inquisitor actually out of mana, so can't really do that much anymore. And that was 1 kill again going the way of Na'Vi.
And yeah, so both teams starting to feel like they can sort of spread out. That first fight wasn't really either team going for a kill, it was just they met at Rune while they were both going for the Rune, but that was absolutely Hwost feeling like now it's the time for me to start really pressuring the Skunka, getting kills. Nice juke by Inquisitor there, but Hwost getting right up into his face.
Yeah, and with that Keeper of the Light around him, I mean, Hwost doesn't really have to go back to base after emptying his mana pool. He can just stand around and wait for the mana to come with Puppey just filling him up with the Chakra Magic in the meantime. Maybe we're gonna see Denny is in trouble. No, looks to be fine. Sends his bottle back. He has got 2 people in his lane right now with Medved hanging around at level 6. We might see them trying to go over that, knowing that the RP is on cooldown, but they don't really want to dive that. Maybe we're going to see a dive coming up from Na'Vi though, because Funnick here as well, and they indeed go in. Want to go for Inquisitor, the Vortex is there, and the kill's there as well with Hwost picking up the gold, and Funnick hanging around there to get his experience and levels up, as he hasn't been able to do that at the start of the game, while we have Hakon still at level 4.
Yeah, very nice kill by Na'Vi there. Hold down the primary carry of zRage, keep him from hitting that very quick Shadow Blade. He actually does already have the broadsword for it. But, you know, he's still got a way to go. He still has the entire Shadow Amulet to build, 1500 gold. If Na'Vi take control of this lane, and the Kunkka can't find safe farm, zRage are going to run out of steam.
We do have Dendi now, looking for something,
that's what
finds
Medved.
That's a solo RP. He'll take that support kill gladly for himself. In the meantime, on the back end, we see Inquisitor having a bit of trouble, but the Vortex, it goes up on Android, so that's the 2 supports picked up. And all of a sudden, you've got your carrier left alone. The Home Missile will still try to help out.
No TP either, because he just TP'd in.
Why am I having a Storm Spirit announcer? Is it just... Oh, Hwost just taking the kills. That's very annoying for me. Oh, that voice.
Inquisitor.
Inquisitor indeed in a lot of trouble. Funnick chasing him down. Sig Charge is trying to help out. There goes the time left for Funnick. Should be able to get himself out of this place, but he doesn't have... Well, he does have his Shikushi up. Never mind that. He is out safe. Fairly
you don't like
slow.
the Storm Spirit announcer, Sheever?
No, I don't.
Wow.
I do like it sometimes when I'm in the right mood, but if you hear it too much, it's like, oh my god, please be quiet. and right now, of course, I mean, Hwost just got a lot of kills there. He's 3 for 0 right now, and he just started talking a lot. And
Funnick
like,
caught
what
out,
happened? Oh,
but no detection.
There he goes. Shikushi out. Should be enough. No. In the meantime, Na'Vi, they don't back off. Hwost already back inside that Radiant Jungle. He doesn't have his Orchid up just yet, but he is very close.
Once they add the Blink Dagger on Dendi, which they will add in 2 creep kills, because he's going to be level 11 soon.
Android goes down. That's 1 kill. Can he get a second? Ball lightning, chasing him down, slowing him down. One more hit. Disruption is going to be there, but the kill is also going to be there. Still, one more hit. Boom. There he goes. Double kill going the way for Boast. Here comes Inquisitor with the boat. But the Impale is going to be there, and Illuminate flying as well. You see the Rum doing the work, and it might actually allow him to go out, but the Rum works out. And Kuroki with the kill in the end. Vost able to run himself away from this one as Jarvik trying to fight up against Kuroki. One more hit needed. Well, actually one more. There we go. That's a Dream Coil, just in case.
Can't believe he used the Dream Coil for that. Wow.
Just in case. Wanted to make sure. A guaranteed kill. Oh, they want to go for Funnick as well. This time the disruption is there. Is there any vision? There's no vision. They can't take him down.
Yeah. This is mostly just to get Funnick to leave. Meanwhile, Dendi with the Haste Rune, he's going to find an easy kill on Hakan on the top. And Dendi, I mean, this will be his level 2 ultimate and Blink Dagger, if he even got Blink Dagger. He did, right? Yeah, he did.
He did.
So that's coming to him. I really feel like Na'Vi are just going to never let up the pressure in this bottom safe lane, which won't give Inquisitor the space he needs to finish that Shadow Blade.
Yeah, we have got, since that first blood happened, the graph just went down in favor of Na'Vi, that is, below 5k already with 12 minutes, 13 minutes now on the clock. Experience graph looking exactly the same. It was in favor of zRage for a little while, and then Na'Vi with the kills. And they, like you said, I mean, they keep the pressure on them. They make sure, that they get a 2-man RP. That's gonna be 2 supports on the floor, and Android and Medved. Torrent not going to do anything anymore as Inquisitor now having to run as well, and that Shadow Blade is a very long way away for Inquisitor.
Yeah, and it's not just that it's far away, it's that he's made no tangible progress towards it in the last 4 or 5 minutes, simply because there's no room. Na'Vi are already doing because they have this incredibly high mobility and control lineup, Storm Spirit, Weaver, Magnus. It's so hard for the Kunkka to find any safe place possible to farm, and they haven't been able to do something like stack Ancients for him and Gyrocopter, because Na'Vi have either blocked the camp or controlled the map.
Yeah, that looks like they're looking for some action in the mid lane as well. Here comes a Vost, finds Jarvik, phase shift on cooldown. There comes a boat though, it is a Vost that goes down, and Dendi drops as well. Roar goes off, they find Kuroki, Spike Carapace goes on, trying to help him escape, and there is again, well actually this time there is vision, he walks past the sentry ward, there's another one in the inventory of Android, but it hits a bit too late.
Wait, did he just use smoke? Did he think it was dust?
Might be, but they still get Kuroki in the end, but Puck goes down with it. That's actually a worthy trade for Kuroki. He used a time of 5 heroes, and then took one down to go with him in the end, which was the solo mid of zRage.
Must have been a misclick on that smoke. That was weird.
Yeah, and I guess it was also a bit of a late sentry being placed. Otherwise that homing missile would have actually stunned Kuroki, and it would have been a lot safer for zRage to take him down. But right now the Impale just made sure that Puck, I mean, there's no chance for him, and he was so close to his Blink Dagger right now, but now he still needs about 400 gold to get there, and that's just really hurting zRage right now. They don't have any hero apart from that Beastmaster to keep themselves in the game, and Beastmaster, even though he has the Roar, he is level 7, and you already pointed out that the levels up on Na'Vi are really a lot higher, with their 3 cores being 10, 11, and 11.
Yeah. Honestly, well, you say they're 3 cores, but it's actually Kuroki who's level 11. So
this is a core. He is gonna go for Dagon. Yeah. Dagon. Oh, he finds himself the Shadow Demon. Easy kill. And he now has his level 2.
And Dendi's going Mask of Madness. He is going on pure auto attack Magnus. Mask of Magnus. I love it.
Yeah, we've seen this more often from Dendi, with also a Battle Fury and a Crystallis, and just go carry Magnus all the way. Yeah, but I don't think
Dendi does this.
Yeah, that's true. I've only seen it from Dendi before, as Vost actually takes the gold from the tower. He almost has his Orchid. At least he is going for standard items. Thank you.
Wait, you don't like the Mask of Madness?
Well, I
you
like
don't think
it.
Storm should go Mask of Madness?
But I also, I mean, I don't know. Is it slightly disrespecting zRage, maybe?
No, he's gotten Mask of Madness unironically before. Maybe it's a joke here, but honestly, the main problem with the Mask of Madness is if you use it and then boat hits you, that's really painful, and a call down could come in addition. Like, we already saw the explosion of 2 Na'Vi heroes in the last fight because of the boat call down combination. If you're Mask of Madness during that period, that becomes even more painful. Sharfik is definitely going to try to do something with his Invis Rune, but the spacing is not safe right now.
No, and there's a lot of heroes from Na'Vi around there as well. See Dendi coming into the mid lane. The tier 1 tower mid still standing. An important beacon for zRage, just giving them some extra map control and some safety to actually stand this far out on their side of the map. If this tier 1 tower wasn't here, zRage would probably be way behind their tier 2. As Funnick is pushing some on the bottom lane. He had a tough lane earlier on, but he's now 0-0-5. He's got 5 assists. He hasn't died yet. And he's actually been doing okay on the farm as well. Got himself some drums, some tranquils, and being left alone. Now baiting to see if someone comes in to take him. Oh, hello Inkvisitor. Kuroki with the impale, with the mana burn. One more hit needed, and Inkvisitor will be dead indeed. Here comes the return kill though, and Kuroki will be picked off, but that's not a worthy trade for zRage at all, with losing their main safe lane carry.
It's good that they got the kill, but they're going to lose not only probably a tower here, because Puppy's going to be able to bring this down, actually, and with the help of Funnick, plus still no Shadowblade on Kunkka. He hasn't even started building his key items. Like, he's nowhere near relevance.
Yeah, and Android picked off very convincingly there. Avos just jumping in, tower goes down with him, and that is... Well, Na'Vi taking a strong lead once again. No real surprise there for now with the way their lanings went. They ball lightning in, silence up on Sharfik. That's the Orchid ready, and Sharfik goes down. Roar still up on Avos, but a bit too late because Sharfik already dead. And Avos should be just fine, especially with that Chakra Magic coming off from Puppy, giving him more mana to get away.
Yep. 2% of... I'd love to see the stat if K-pop's listening. I'd love to see how many of those are Dendi. Because 100%. I feel like it's going to be 100 or close to 100.
Yeah.
But yeah. Mask of Bad is not a common pickup, but here's the funny thing about Magnus. It's not that bad. Because if you do the RP on the full stack, you have 3 seconds of hero stun. It's kind of almost the principle of a Faceless Void. Actually, watch this in action right now. Well, he's going to do it right now. He's going to RP. Yep. Here we go. And see. That's why Mask of Madness, because he's got that Empower that gives him 40% bonus damage and
double damage too, though.
And the DD rune, yeah. The combination of those things lets him chew through people quite. If he gets another DD rune and he RPs like a stack of 4, then they can just kill them. Meanwhile, on the bottom, they're just diving the tier 3, 2 easy kills.
Yeah, well, 1 so far with the cooldown coming down. They protect Haycom, but they already lost their solo mid. Here comes the Impale, and Shadow Demon will drop. Double kill going the way of Funnick, now finally getting some kills for himself rather than just assists, so it's now 4-0-5, while he was 0-0-5 only just a moment ago. And that's the Dagon done on Kuroki and the tier 3 tower under siege here on the bottom lane, rather than going for the tier 2 mid.
Yeah, even Funnick is now relevant in this game because he's now level, he's gotten his levels. He's level 11, he's higher than all but one of zRage's heroes. And Inquisitor is still really struggling. He still, at 20 minutes, doesn't have Shadowblade.
Yeah, and they just blink in and score Andrew to the lone ground, Android. And Magnus, or, well, Gyro rather, drops. No real surprise there. He is a support Gyro, so he does die quite fast. He actually died 6 times already, as we now see zRage trying to fight. Nice boat coming in. Funnick time-lapse is just in time, but the roar still goes off. Looks like Funnick will die for the first time this game, as Inquisitor will get disrupted and saved for a later day to take down. Looks like with the boat buff keeps him alive just long enough, as here comes Axis once again. Kuroki taking a lot of damage. 2 stacks of Shadow Poison. Should be able to live through that though. Should be fairly easy even. Spike Carapace actually goes off just in case. Nice orb stunning Sharfik. Impale. That's a kill. Kuroki doing the job. Pops his Vendetta. Careful, Kuroki. Yeah, very careful. There goes an RP. Up on 3. Ball lightning in. And that is 3 dead. With only the one they saved in the start. Only Inquisitor left alive. He wasn't able to help out his team. It is a 4-4-1 trade.
If it hadn't been for high ground miss, actually, he would have died too.
Yeah.
Oh man. Maybe he'll get his Shadowblade as a result of not dying there, but that's it. The Shadowblade will be roughly at the same time as the end of the game, because in the end, that Mask of Magnus helping him clear it out. There's the boat. It misses.
Yeah, it misses an Inquisitor. Mana leaked.
Oh no, he won't afford it. He's not gonna get it. He was 3 gold away.
No luck.
Not that it matters, I'm just saying, it's kind of a tragedy.
It is a tragedy. Tragedy that is now 15k gold in favor of Na'Vi. Cooldown not really doing anything to shut them out to lock them back. Roar, oh nice, they still pick up a Vos pretty fast, but the buyback is there, and Puppey, he can just call people towards him once again. Time lapse for Funny, keeping him alive as Ink Visitor running once again. See if the high ground stays in this time. Looks like it is. There is a Vos again. And it is Hakon that he wants to go for. Shadow Demon buys back into the game because he knows this is their last chance, basically. But Na'Vi has now been on this bottom lane for a long time and have not been able to, they have not been forced out. Android will get disrupted. But I think that, oh, actually, no, he's able to get away.
Most auto attacks the homing missile to within one auto attack of it dying and then lets it hit him.
Oh, well, we're gonna see the range. They're
now.
just toying with them right now, yeah. zRage, of course they're holding on. They're a brave team. They're trying.
Kunkka, it's the Na'Vi. I mentioned that Kunkka has these breakpoints that he absolutely needs to hit as far as items, and Na'Vi put their entire team's worth of pressure on the lane with the Kunkka before that breakpoint, and so he started already pretty close to Shadowblade, and then never got it. And meanwhile, Dendi actually adding the Chrysalis on for the crit. This is really, it's just everything he needs.
Yeah, let's see what they can do now, though. They roar up on Denny. The boat comes in. The cooldown is there as well. The RP gets used, though. It hits up on 2. Shockwave goes through. Denny will still drop. That's the Mask of Mana is working against him right there as Gyro still goes down because the Vo's still alive. Needs a bit extra mana, though. And where is Puppey when you need him? Puppey is actually trying to take down the rest of zRage by himself. Now gives the Vos a bit of extra mana, but the tier, well, rather the racks go down. That is a defusal for Funnick, who picks it up.
You mean Desolator?
Desolator, rather. Refusal. Don't know why I said that. Medvet, trouble. One more impale. Will do the job. Mega kill streak for the support. Nyx assassin. And the Gem of True Sight that was in the bags of Sharfik. Dropped.
He took it.
And he took it before Hakon could drop something from his inventory. He's gonna give it back though.
He's giving it back.
That's very friendly of him.
He totally gave it back.
Yeah. He could have lived there, he could have walked back, but he was friendly and he gave it back. Like, oh, it has your name on it.
That was actually really good citizenship there by Kuroki.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Who has it? Beastmaster. Yeah, it has his name. Actually, it has Sharfik's name on it. So yeah, we give it back. It's cool. But the Na'Vi, they can't continue on. They can't continue towards the tier 3s because they still have tier 2s standing. They just got to this tier 3 point by getting a successful gank that ended up thinking, you know what, we might as well push here and leave our mid lane push alone. And successfully so. They're gonna now try to take Roshan most likely.
Yeah, they're actually porting Hvostin to get this Rosh. Storm Spirit is one of the best Aegis carriers in the game, in my opinion, because Aegis, yes, it brings you to life with full health, but almost more importantly, it brings you to life with full mana. So as Storm Spirit, in a longer team fight, you're always sort of constrained by the fact that you run out of mana, and Aegis lets you use all the mana, die, and just come right back and still be very intimidating. This is a big Storm Spirit. He's actually finished with his Lincoln Sphere now, I believe, and that'll make it nigh impossible for zRage to do anything at all against him.
Yeah, they just have to wait for pending doom right now. You can't really go out of your base to try and farm right now. You'll get picked off or forced back before anything else. And we already see Na'Vi knocking on the door of zRage again, taking down the Hawk. So no more vision coming off from zRage. Awkward impale coming off from Kuroki, but hey, who am I to judge that, right?
Well, Sheever, they don't have detection, so who knows? Maybe somebody has an invisor. Because they gave away the gem.
True.
Veil of Discord for Puppey. Rare that we see this pick up for Keeper of the Light. Rare that we see this pick up in general, but it will. If their battle is to kill steal, this is his best chance.
Yep, here goes the kill already though. No kill steal for that one. The roar, actually, the Lincolns that just got purchased by Vos block the roar. And he goes up on Android. Android will drop. Won't have buyback. Boat comes in. Dendi with the RP up on 2 though. And even though the Aegis was taken, those 2 people will still go down with only Sharfik left alive for the team of zRage. And the GG well played goes out. Na'Vi taking the second game of today. And zRage taking their second loss today.
I'm surprised that Dendi got the double kill there. Good job, Dendi, managing to use his crits to beat out Veil of Discord, Keeper of the Light, and a Dagon Nyx for those kill steals.
He has got that Empower up on himself, and he only puts it up on him. Actually, also puts it up on Funnick. Yeah, that makes it more impressive for sure. But yeah, zRage to disconnect out. Na'Vi in the end victorious, so they continue their dominating streak. They are not unbeaten in Star Series, by the way. They actually got beaten by 2 teams already, I believe it was, and Virtus.pro and DD that they dropped the map to. But by them taking down Alliance earlier, there is no team left unbeaten so far in StarLadder. Do I have to chew my words there? I don't think I do, right?
No team unbeaten.
No team unbeaten.
Not after Alliance lost today to this team that we just saw. Na'Vi, not the most serious of games, but always a fun team to watch. They'll never just crush you. They'll crush you with the Mask of Magnus. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't always see that, but when you see it, it's fun. It is fun. This was, by the way, the last game of the day for StarLadder. Today, tomorrow we'll have 6 games, I believe. Yes, first game starting at 1500 CEST time with an hour break after that, and the rest of the game starting then at 1700. So a lot of games tomorrow with 4FC, Rocks, Virtus.pro, Alliance once again, Empire, IC Cup, DD, Power Rangers, and KP all up against one another. So check out that tomorrow, 1500. And of course, thank you to K-poptosis who delivered you the stats for today. Big shout out to him for just continuously delivering those with relative ease by the well, it seems that way anyways. And of course, shout out to Vykromond who was my co-caster for today. Do you have any shout outs and plugins, etc.?
Sure, absolutely. Well, first of all, thanks to you, Sheever, for allowing me to co-cast. It's always a pleasure. Huge game today, of course, Na'Vi versus Alliance, and just a pretty good day in general, even though some of the games were slightly less close than we anticipated. Maybe not this one. But still, I really, really appreciate having the chance. It's always a pleasure to cast with you. Also, thanks to StarLadder for running one of the absolute best organized tournaments out there. Things start on time. People don't alias quite as hard as some other games. It's just really, really fantastic. So thanks to the StarLadder administration staff, X34 Meg, and of course the casters as well. Matrix, Casper, Vlad, all fantastic dudes. And thanks, of course, to the viewers, everybody watching in Dota TV. If you picked up a tournament ticket, got that free HUD along with that package. And thanks to people watching on Twitch TV. Had a nice little group today. My Twitch viewer shout-out of the day is to Triple Point. He's actually a subscriber, so he has that cool little purple subscriber flare. That's pretty legit. And, yeah. Thanks. And, of course, K-poptosis. Amazing stats as usual. Super, super huge value add. And saves me a lot of time and grief. Thanks, everybody. See you later.
Laters, and of course, K-poptosis would do some shoutouts, but he accidentally dropped from the game, so they'll have to wait until a later time, because I'll assure you that there will be more time for him to do shoutouts and more games for him to put out some stats if he continues to want to, obviously, because that's going to be something that's needed. Of course, my shout out for today goes to those 11% that had faith in zRage for this game, for Na'Vi versus zRage. I shout out to you. And that was my viewer shout out, as I continue to miss the specific names of the players, of the viewers, rather than the standard ones. Obviously, I have got a couple of regular viewers whose names I do know, but yeah, other than that, I don't really know what they say. So, oh well. We are jumping ourselves out of this game, and not quite sure what I'll be doing, as I might just be watching some Dota or playing one game before I watch Dota, because of course, Na'Vi is going to play again later tonight. They're going to be up against Team Liquid. Should be a really good series. It's going to be for the D2L. If you want to watch some competitive Dota until then, you can tune in to Toby, who's casting the EMS 1 Cup number 3. So you can do just that, and yeah, thank you for being here, and stick around if you want to watch some commercials to support me. Yay! Woo! Here we go.